hoping I can get a ride this afternoon because I have a couple of things to do this morning that, well, personal things Karen needs me to do around here. Basically, husband work. But anyway, we'll do that with a big smile on our face because what's going to happen somewhere today, and usually they've been bringing the packages early, I'm going to get my carburetors from SUDCO for the RD, and that's going to make my whole day complete whether I get to ride or not. But we had such an ordeal with the muffler from Chris waiting, I don't know, 20 days or something. So when they say, when you get those notifications that they're going to be delivered in the next 4 hours or whatever the hell it says, yeah, take it with a grain of salt. Now that will really make my day complete if that stuff gets here this morning early before I can head out, and you never know. Post office delivery when you mail order things in this coronavirus era. But anyway, that is the next step on the RD project, and even if they come today, we're not going to have enough time to do it. What I want to do with them, I want to make a dedicated day, do it step by step so people can share any information I have that might be useful passing on. I've had 2-stroke motorcycles in my collection since the early 60s. So I'm not sure I'm an expert. I'm not sure I'm even mediocre. In fact, Luciano doesn't think I'm anything at all. And then we disagree on something and we're both wrong. So anyway, these 2-strokes are a lovable little breed. They're like having a little chihuahua in your dog collection. And when it's time to spend some money on them, now these CARBS, I didn't get the bill yet, but I know they're going to charge for shipping and tax and gefilte fish and everything else. But this baby, Karen got me this bike for Valentine's Day 7 years ago, and I have about 10,000 miles on it, and this is the first real money I've put into it. So I got my honey-do list, and I want to go out to the porch and see if my SUDCO stuff has gotten here. All right, which one of you fish took the carburetors off the porch? I don't know. Feed them, I love them, and they take my carburetors off the porch. Well, they didn't lie. Delivered on time. Thank you, U.S. Postal Service. Gee, what an ordeal to get stuff lately. Okay, so one of the things I wanted to do, I like to always do an unboxing here. And I'm not sure how this is going to play out, but one of the things when I spoke to them at SUDCO, I found out some information that may or may not be useful. Number one, you can't buy exact replacement CARBS. Boy, that catalog, holy mackerel, is that heavy. Look at that, wow. Beautiful catalog, by the way. And since I have bought stuff before, this will be very handy for ordering other parts, for sure. So, that's always a good thing to have. I always like to read that. This is what I want to... Makuni. Oh, come on, baby, come on. I'm full of anticipation here. Okay. These are supposed to be VM28s. Now, when you have, if you could buy the CARBS from Yamaha, or years and years ago, you could buy, there's a left carb and a right one. And the left one has a choke and there's an interconnecting tube, and they have the 2 ports are drilled for the oil lines. Well, these replacement CARBS, I don't think they have that. So, but they do have, and I did check, they do have the exact jetting of that the stock bike calls for. A 115 and a 25 Pilot. I don't know what this is supposed to tell you, where you can get your next gefilte fish sandwich from. And it's just our lucky day here. Okay, so here's the port that has to be drilled. And there's no secret to how this has to go. There's an overflow. It should be a relatively straightforward thing to install these, but what I want to do is I want to have a dedicated day that I'm not under any pressure to get done. It's not too hot in the garage, hopefully. It's always too hot in the garage. And because there's a lot of little adjustments to make, and these holes that have to be drilled for the oil line have to be precision drilled. They can't just be whatever drill is in the drill press. So let me just say this, a couple of things that I think are worth mentioning. The SUDCO catalog is absolutely beautiful. It's printed on high quality paper. It's loaded with all kind of tuning information, parts that are available from them, of course, and things unrelated to this, brake pads, brake parts, oil filter bolts. So normally now, if you just call them up, I believe the catalog is $20, and of course the shipping. the thing is a phone book. But if you buy something, you get the catalog for free. So that's take $20 off the order anyway. Now, and this is the thing I want to have more than anything else, is all of the little gizmos and part numbers and whatever. Because over the winter, one of my goals is to take the FZR carbs totally stripped down, put all new jets and slides and everything in them. And I can see, yes, they do have pretty much if they don't have it, I'm sure they know where you can get it. But yeah, they got all the other things that from time to time you need. Spoken wheels, all stuff for classic bikes. So number one thing is, if nothing else, I got some good bathroom reading here for the next year. And I know there'll be stuff in here that I'll be using and I can reference it. So having a good catalog to look at, because the truth is you can look this up online. And yeah, some people like to look. When I did, I couldn't really read stuff, and I have a big monitor. I can imagine when you try and do this with a phone, holy mackerel. I don't know if, even though there's a magnifier, you make it bigger, but it's not the same as having this. This is really something that does have a good value. Now I notice on these carbs there's a tag that says not for aircraft use. So I hope Dallas didn't put one of these on his biplane or something. Anyway, so here's what I've deduced from this whole thing. Now I want to just tell a short story. I renovated that black RD350 for Ray Straub maybe 5 years ago, 7 years ago. No, it was 09, 10. It should have been, anyway, maybe it's 10 years, who the hell knows. But anyway, when we did it, he bought a new set of carbs. He had them jet. Now he bought oversized carbs because that bike had porting work and different heads and expansion chambers, so he bought bigger carbs. I was tempted to buy the next size bigger carb, and then I said, no, well, let's get realistic here. What am I trying to do? I want this bike to run just like a stock bike is supposed to run. Number one, I want it to take the gas smoothly. I want it to have the amount of power it's supposed to have. Because with any two-stroke, you can increase the power by 30%, but then you don't have that nice throttle response. You can increase it by 50%, but then they blow up. So it's a tough decision to make anyway. But anyway, these I think are going to be exactly what the doctor ordered. And I'm really looking forward to installing them. And I will make a dedicated video of the installation and the machine shop work that has to be done, which shouldn't be a big deal. And I'm just looking at, I'm trying to picture in my mind. See, from my days of doing some construction work on rental properties, I know part of every job, a big part, is getting the material to the job site, getting the sheetrock or the sand or the cement to the site. Then once you have everything, doing the job is, it just goes. Now, the problem is going to be, there's a couple of problems I have to work around. Luciano had a solution to this. The chokes, because the carbs will be mounted like this, you'll have to reach in and do 2 chokes, or if it's not really cold, it'll probably start on 1 cylinder. Sometime if you got it jetted rich, it'll start without the chokes. So, which are all 2 strokes too. But my concern was, this was the concern that I had here, is where these little bosses are. Let's see if they are in the correct position. And I'm not sure they are. Well, we're going to have to figure it all out. Because what happens is the oil lines, I'm going to have to figure out where they're going to have to go on opposite sides when I do the drilling. And again, I will have to figure that out. Again, because these are not exact replacements. They're similar, they're jetted the same, they're the same size, but they're not exact replacements. So, and I'm definitely not going to put wings on the RD and try to fly it, because these are not made for aircraft. So what I need to do is, before I even start this project, think it through, think of all the things that I'm going to have to do, the drilling, the oil lines. One of the things I don't have to do is have the connecting part of this. It looks like the fuel line is the next size bigger on these than on the original stock carb, so I may have to make an adapter there, a piece of tubing adapter or whatever. And the little overflow lines, which I don't even think you need, but as long as we got them. And it looks like, I'm looking, They could have this marked for where you're supposed to drill, but I'm going to have to marry it and make an exact copy of where it is on the other carbs. So we have our work cut out for us. Now this will not be, and may even go over 2 or 3 days, it will not be an exact replacement. That I know is not going to happen. And I know sooner or later, dollars to donuts, we're going to run into some kind of a thing. I have to cut, drill, machine, sand, do something. But luckily, we have done it all before. We've done a similar thing many times. And we also have, I hope, we have that whole box full of jets. If this is not going to be the correct jetting, that'll make it a lot easier. So anyway, we did get it from SUDCO. We have the catalog to drool over, but it's getting late already, and I want to get out there and try to get some writing in today. And I took one little part while I was here. I don't remember where I put it. Oh, right here. I wanted to see how this would clean up. I just touched it with a piece of 600 sandpaper. See, because it's got, this apparently was left in a garage. It's got marks in it. But I wanted to just do a basic cleanup on it. And I wanted to see what these end caps, if they would polish up or, well, they're not chewed up too badly. But before, I like to work on stuff that's nice and clean. So we got another rainy day project. And I'm sure the mid pipe is going to have to cut or make another one or order another one. So we have projects, but it's getting late. And if I get out too late, I cook on the way home. The Big Red's mate is out here this morning, protecting her nest. Karen, it looks like we have we have enough peppers on this one. We could go in business. The one up in the front of the house doesn't have that many peppers, but this one is really doing well.
In the front over here.
They look hungry, baby. Hungry. Oh, don't fight. There's plenty of food for everybody. We'll feed them peppers this morning. Last cup of coffee and a final weather check here, and checking with the weatherman, who is always, we shouldn't say he's always wrong. He's right almost as many times as he's wrong. And I'm worse.
Not a cloud in the sky. What a beautiful day. And getting hotter by the minute. So we're back, and boy did it get hot. Holy mackerel. When you don't leave as early, we left a little later than normal today. Of course, I'm getting those carbs, of course. But I'm excited. That's going to be our next shop project. Every day our crepe myrtle just comes into more and more of a bloom. Usually around August 1st when it starts to be fully bloomed. I hear chainsaws in the back. As I'm sitting here having my iced coffee, I'm wondering, we have another treezilla in the neighborhood. I think we better call a Lorax. They're cutting down all the trees. God. So it's time to go get my grandson, rescue him from boredom and debauchery. Anyway, what a beautiful day. And boy, I don't want to forget to thank our healthcare workers for making this ride possible. Listen to that tree. The Lorax is coming. The fish just called the Lorax. Anyway, thank you guys. Thank you all you healthcare workers keeping us safe. And boy, are we hoping this is going to be over soon. The kids are going back to school soon. I hope they can go back to school soon. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed the video. I enjoy making them. And thanks for watching.